Hello there and welcome to the recap, where I take you through the news and events that happened across the week in Kenya and around the world, only on TV47. My name is Lucy Riley. This week's events kick off from right here in Kenya, where several people have reportedly died of hunger-related complications due to severe drought conditions in over 12 counties in northern Kenya. The big question is, does the government have to wait for extreme conditions in order to act? Are our priorities aligned correctly as a country? Mudeo Mumo reports on the following story.
In arid and semi-arid regions in Kenya, drought is a natural occurrence that is recurrent. Yet, every year, the government of Kenya is taken by surprise. Are our priorities right? Isn't this an issue that should be mitigated through proper planning?
Sasa kama wakubwa wangechukua tu jukumu, wako serious, waache kuangalia tumbo zao, watu wangekuwa na kufa. Ukienda kama Baringo. Baringo ni part ya the president. Ukisikia watu wanakufa huko ni aibu sana. Ukisikia pesa ile watu wanaiba ni matrilioni. Pesa zile zinaweza saidia watu hata kama ni maji, chakula, unga, mafuta, whatever. Wanaweza pelekewa. Sasa mimi naona hii ni uzembe ya serikali. Hao wanaangalia tumbo yao, hawana haja na the taxpayers.
I think corruption is our main problem when it comes to drought and mitigation methods. So I have a problem with the government because the government has slept on everything that has anything to do with the citizens of this country. Again, I also have a problem with us people as the citizens because we have refused to push the government to do the same thing. As what we are good at is the pay bill. So I think even as Kenyans, we are the main problem because we have we like to have the pay bill whereby we solve the problem for today without looking. We don't look at sustainability. We look at the problem as something that can be solved today and not long term.
So far, 12 counties in northern Kenya have been affected by drought and ravaging hunger. An estimate of 1.1 million Kenyans are in dire need of intervention. Mudeo Mumu, TV47.
This is a very sad and devastating story, and the follow-up was done on the status update from the Meteorological Department by our reporter Angie Wangeshi. Here's more.
Human-wildlife conflict, a growing problem in Kenya today, which has significant impact on both human and wildlife populations, and a looming food crisis due to the late onset and poor distribution of the March-April-May 2019 seasonal rainfall is what Kenyans are bracing themselves for. The Kenya Meteorological Department, through Acting Director Stella Ora, has warned that northwestern Kenya and other arid and semi-arid lands where poor rainfall performance is expected will have increased water scarcity problems and lack of pasture.
Over the western part of the country, it was expected during the second week of March. And over the rest of the country, most of the rest of the country, it was over Highlands East, and the coast, it was expected during the third and fourth week, and to the north, it was expected during the first week of April. However, sunny and dry conditions are likely to persist over the better part of the country, and more so the eastern sector of the country, and also the northwestern.
Ora adds the northwestern region, southeastern, northeastern and the coastal regions will be most hard hit.
Northwestern Kenya region and other ASALs, where poor rainfall performance is expected, problems related to water scarcity and lack of pasture for livestock is expected to increase following poor rainfall performance observed during the October, November, December 2018 short rains, and even during the previous long rain season. Human, wildlife, and intercommunity conflicts over the limited resources are likely to be on the increase in these areas. Contingency plans and strategies should therefore be put in place to avert such incidences. Cases of flooding in flood-prone areas such as Budalangi and Kano areas are also landslides in areas such as Moranga are still probable.
Sustainable Development Goal 6 is crystal clear. Water for all by 2030. Is Kenya really headed in this direction? Is the National Disaster Operations Center ready to mitigate any of the negative impacts that may arise from this forecast?
The Meteorological Department has today issued an update on the communique that they gave 2 weeks ago regarding expected rainfall patterns in Kenya. And they have warned that rains will be coming in the first or second week of April, but not as intense as they were in the last season. So Kenyans have been asked to be cautious and to make adequate preparations. Also to stay cautious because there's going to be a rise in the human-animal conflict. In Jirageshi, TV47.
Now, in other news, Gikomba traders this week had a demonstration championed by the chairman Benson Mwangi in a plea to attract the MP of Starehe constituency, Charles Njagwa, popularly known as Jaguar, to reconstruct and repair the road. The road was commissioned last year and is yet to be built. Here's more on that story.
This is Gikomba Market, the country's largest second-hand clothes market that is a beehive of activity. But the burning of a tire was a clear indication that not all was well in a market that has now become used to fire. Traders posting what they termed as a neglect. Their main grievances being the poor condition of the road, insecurity in the market and lack of electricity.
Na sasa hiyo majia tunajua kuna mvua. Mwezi wa 4 tunatarajia mvua. Na mvua ikinyesha hatutaweza magari haitaweza kupita. Hata watu hawataweza kupita. Kwa hivyo ndio tulikuwa tunataka MP wetu sababu kutoka hapa ni Jagwa kuenda huko. Hii ni Starehe. Atusikie. Akuje atengeneze barabara. Na kama hawezi atuambie hii barabara tunaweza jenga hata kama ni siku 3 ama ni siku 4 tukiwa communal work.
Gikomba Traders chairman Benson Mwangi, while speaking to the members
Now, much has happened in the business world this week, including the appointment of Director Carol Kariuki to the East African Cables Limited. James Kimani compiled the following business roundup for the week. Here's more.
The Kenya Revenue Authority is again at the spotlight after it has emerged that over 6,000 imported vehicles are trapped at the Kenyan port. The cars, held at the port on demand of the Revenue Authority, has seen the renewed war on tax evasion raise eyebrows, with Kenyan importers suffering losses. The car importers, in a letter to the Kenya Revenue Authority, has asked the entity to extend the clearance processes. The importers say that a daily subcharge of 2,000 to 6,000 shillings is hitting their pockets hard, and that coupled up with lack of number plates is pushing them into a cash flow crisis. The Kenya Revenue Authority has insisted that they will not release any vehicles without an affixed e-sticker, proper registration done, and a logbook issued. Elsewhere, the East African Cables has elected Carol Karaoke as a non-executive director. The fiber optic manufacturer has found favor in the Chief Executive Officer of the Kenya Private Sector Alliance, who also serves as the chairperson for the Special Economic Zones Authority, among other renowned boards. And finally, the Kenya Airways has continued to suffer losses after it hit a 38.2% loss by close of trade on Friday the 15th. The once number one airline in Africa has continued on its downward trajectory days after they announced to reconsidering the order of the now worldwide grounded Boeing 737 MAX that killed 157 people in Ethiopia. According to the Chief Executive Officer of the national carrier, Sebastian Mikoz, the only hope for the airline is taking over operation of the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, a move that has been facing stiff opposition. James Kimani, TV47 Business.
Time now to take a short break. The recap continues in just a bit. Do stay with us.